Hi, my name is Lauren and I'm a physiotherapist at the Proactive Pelvic Health Center. I have a special interest in pediatrics and today I'll be talking to you about bedwetting or enuresis. There are two different types of enuresis. The first is primary, and so that means that a child has never been dry for more than 6 months. And the second type is secondary, which means that a child has been dry for more than 6 months, and then they've started wetting again. So there are a few different causes of primary enuresis, and we tend to start looking at reasons why a child might be having nighttime wetting around the age of 5. So if they're not dry by the age of 5, it's definitely time to start having a chat with your family doctor or a pelvic health physio who works with kids. So there are three main causes of primary enuresis, so why a child might not be dry at night. The first is constipation. So if there's some stool stuck in the intestines, it can press down on the bladder and it can make it harder for the bladder to do its job and hold pee throughout the night. The second is daytime bladder habits. And so if a child isn't allowing their bladder to expand fully and then empty fully during the day, it can make it harder for them to hold pee at night. It's possible that they could have some incomplete emptying of their bladder, or maybe they're ingesting a lot of bladder irritants, and so it can make it harder for the bladder to do its job. So anything carbonated, caffeinated, citrus, spicy can make it so that the bladder becomes irritated and wants to flush itself out, and that can result in some nighttime wetting. And then a third common reason is hormonal. And so when our body falls into a deep enough sleep, our body releases an antidiuretic hormone, which concentrates our urine. And so it makes it so that we don't have to get up at night to pee. And so there's two main reasons why a child might not be producing this hormone by the age of 5. And the first is genetic. And so maybe the child has a sibling, a parent, a close relative who also had later nighttime wetting. And so this can give us some clues as to why the child might not be dry yet. And then the second can be because of some sleep issues. And so if the child is a really restless sleeper, maybe they have some signs of sleep apnea. And so if they might be snoring at night or an open mouth breather, or have really disruptive sleep, all of those things can make it so that the child isn't falling into that deep enough sleep to be able to produce that hormone. And so those are some things to investigate if the child is still having some wetting by the age of 5. Now, if a child has had a prolonged dry period, so more than 6 months, and then they start wetting again, it's important to talk to your doctor about this because there can be some reasons why this is happening that might be a little bit more serious. And so we can think about constipation. We maybe want to investigate for diabetes because that can change the way that that urine is being produced. And then some things regarding the spine and development that we definitely want to take a look into. And then also being conscious about any changes in the child's social environment. And so maybe the child started a new school or has a new sibling, and so that can be disruptive to sleep and disruptive to how the child is feeling, and that can also have an impact on nighttime wetting. And so nighttime wetting is very, very rarely the child's fault, and they very rarely have any control over it. And so it's important to make sure that the child has good support. So talking to your family doctor, talking to a pediatric pelvic health physio can all help figure out what might be the root cause and figure out a plan to help support the child and support the family going forward.